If you're interested in the mindset of a young phenom in a sport, how to handle adjustments as life changes, and overall just pushing to be a better version of yourself, then this episode is for you.
Hey guys, no fencing equipment has a history that's as rich as Priya USA. If you want to check out this mask, make sure to click the link in bio.
Boom. Good job.
Let's go.
We're rolling.
Rolling.
Welcome back, Ari. Another week in the studio.
Should I change shirts?
I didn't bring another shirt.
So for the listeners, it's been another week for us. In full transparency, we've been episode loading on you guys. This is our third one of the day. Save the best for last. I'll cut that part. Definitely don't want to hate on Lauren. No, but really, welcome back.
Welcome back. No,
It's been a week.
It's fresh in our minds. It's been a week, but wow, what a person Lauren is. Like truly, I couldn't get over the way she was describing these things, like these insurmountable tasks of like training for decades, becoming an Olympian. She's just like it's tying her shoes, just like, oh yeah, I went and I was X, Y, and Z incredibly effective with my training. I overcame these obstacles, like just not deadpan, but like calm.
Poised is the word that kept coming to mind. She was so poised and professional, and you can tell that she has a level of maturity that sets her apart from other people, not only her age, but even older than her. And she's tapped into the juice of how to be efficient with your time and intentionality, and how to be present during that entire process. And even though she didn't, pat herself on the back, it just was so clear the whole episode why she's as successful as she is. On top of the talent, on top of the effort, on top of the skill, but like the mental aspect of not just the sport, but life, she has down. And I was very inspired.
Yeah.
I was smiling the whole time.
Yeah, it was really crazy to hear. It was really fun to be a part of. And for those who are listening to the long form content and going through this journey with us, like, I think it's important to say that from all of our guests, there are things you can take away. And there are things in this that can make you a better fencer, a better professional, a better anything really, because these are some very high achieving people achieving incredible things. And like, there are things to take away from it. But when you talk to someone like that, like that's a formula that is derivative from who she is as a person. So it's important to try and take things away from it, but recognize that, you yourself might be different. You might need different emphasis on different parts of that journey and of that effort. And I hope that everyone can take something away from that and become a more efficient, whatever it is they're doing.
Yeah, I think that she is very unique. At the same time, being intentional with your time and leading to efficiency when you're balancing so many things is a huge takeaway. And on top of that, the confidence, all of that, that's natural to her. But a lot of that can come from knowing you can balance all that stuff and you're being intentional. And honestly, I want to talk to her more.
Yeah. I hope we can build a rapport and a relationship with her. But great time on that episode. And
if you haven't listened to it,
as
soon as you get done with this entire awesome episode that we're going to talk about today, please give the Lauren Scruggs episode a listen. It's worth your time. She's great.
Speaking of people who are just sort of moving different,
just operating on a different level. Today's guest,
I am incredibly excited for someone that we've wanted to have on from the start, and someone who I want to just hang out with more. So yeah, I'm excited for celebrating after this episode as well.
No, this fencer is a good friend of ours and become an unlikely hero in the men's épée journey of the U.S. men's épée team. And not only that, has really continued to grow in so many awesome ways in a very, very pivotal point of his life at a young age that he's inspired all of us, I think.
He is. And, he's just reflecting throughout the day on my relationship with him in anticipation for this. He's someone who makes me happy to be older because I've gotten to see the development and see the the journey of someone else sort of play out. And truly just happy I've been a small part of that.
Me too.
Know?
It's an honor.
It's truly an honor to be a small part of this man's journey. And without further ado, please read this incredible resume.
Yeah, so this is just a little bit. And again, mind you, this guest is 20 years old. So he's the youngest guest that we've had on so far, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're correct.
And, if this podcast keeps going, he'll be on multiple times. This resume, this is a resume of a 20-year-old. So just keep this in mind. This is very similar to many of the other resumes that we've had of serious professionals in the sport.
Who have 6+ years on them.
Yeah. We have a one-time senior national champion, a 3-time Division I NAC champion, a one-time first-team All-American, a one-time Senior World Cup bronze medalist, a one-time Grand Prix bronze medalist, the 2023-2024 number 1 ranked junior in the world, the 2024 Senior Pan American champion, the Cadet World Champion, and multiple-time Junior World Champion medalist at World Championships, and current Senior World number 7, my and Steven's Prieur and Team USA teammate, Sam Imrek.
Woo! Welcome to the podcast, bro.
Bet you weren't expecting that.
No, I wasn't.
Seriously, it's great to have you on, and we'll talk about all the other things we were talking about. We don't have to glaze you right now, but really, just thanks for coming.
We're gonna glaze you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, it's so great to be here. What can I say? This place is so cool. So excited. Yeah, I can't wait to see what we're going to get into today.
All right. Well, keep it simple.
Oh, God.
The way we start, the icebreaker for everyone, just to get you talking. What's your origin story? Who are you? Tell the listeners, the fans, who are you? Where are you from? How'd you get into fencing? And how'd you get here? Who are you? Tell us.
Okay, well, basically to, start from the very beginning. So I am from Houston, the Houston area, greater Houston area. And I have been fencing ever since I was a little kid, since I was around 5 years old. And it just all started from me and my brother playing a lot of lightsabers because we were super into Star Wars.
Sword fighting kids that came up in another episode. Just fencing attracts a sword fighting
kids. A bunch of sword fighting kids out here, man.
What can I say? So that was that, and eventually my dad knew someone who knew the coach Andre, my current coach at Alliance, and eventually I just started showing up, and now we're here. So that's really that as far as it goes, and so I've been living in Houston the whole time and training at Alliance here, and now here in New York. Good to be here. Sophomore in college, and
we're at
St. John's
University. Shout out Red Storm.
Right. So I guess to kind of make you develop this storyline a little more, what was your youth fencing journey like? Right, obviously, maybe you were sort of popped out as the GOAT, but what was that initial local, national, just give us some color to what your fencing journey was like as a child.
Okay. That's a really good question. I think, really starting from, you could really say, the Y8, we were doing the local tournaments, at my club there. I don't remember it too well, but I usually did pretty well at those. I was usually getting medals in those or winning those. And then Y10, I was pretty good in Y10, doing. I remember I think I got second at one national tournament Y10. And then after that Y12, Y14, I didn't have really all too much going on there, but was still fencing just for the love of it, really, for so many years. Definitely getting just having a fun time with it, and then cadet definitely around my first second year of cadet is when things started to pick up.
Okay.
So he doesn't remember, but I actually remember the early days.
You do?
I was one of Sam's coaches. I used to run the class for the 8-year-olds, and Sam and another Alliance fencer who we'll shout out here, Alex Frey, were quite the troublemakers.
Oh my God.
I
remember.
I've kicked Sam out of some classes, and he seems like a mellow young man here, but as an 8-year-old, he was still a sword fighting kid then, and he didn't realize that fencing wasn't sword fighting. So he and Alex would start scuffling, and they would turn their epées into swords, and then it got dangerous. Then we had to separate them and have them sit out, and that was kind of the sum of his Y8 days.
Right.
That's why, hey, look, both of them ended up learning how to fence for real later on. But Y8 was a lot of explaining to them that this isn't sword fighting. This is a different sport. We're not whacking each other. Please stop.
That's funny.
It is funny.
Yes.
And shout out Alliance Fencing Academy. That's my home club as well. And it's just cool to see the history. There's 11 years between Sam and myself. You're born in 2005, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's the Alliance journey started in 2004, and I joined in at 2007, and to see it continue iterating on itself. I was a world champion in 2013. Sam got it in 2022. Yep. And it's just continued to iterate and grow, and it's awesome to see. So it's cool. Shout out Alliance, and back to you, Steven.
All right. Well, I guess that story kind of gets us into our first official segment, our second official segment. This is an ongoing debate with us.
Yeah.
But the next question we like to ask, which is, what was your all-in moment? And for us, what we describe this moment as is this moment where you kind of decided, right, like, I'm not just some kid in fencing classes. Like, I'm going to go out and I'm not going to sword fight Alex Frey anymore. I'm going to try and be the best in the country, or I'm going to try and take this seriously and make a fencing career out of this and try and achieve some results. Maybe, you double down on your training or something. And this could be a moment, a series of moments, a loss. What was sort of your moment where you decided, this is for me and I'm going to try and be great at this?
I would say definitely more towards around like my second year of cadet. Was most of my first year of cadet, I believe, was COVID. I would say sometime during the second year of cadet when I was starting to get results, I would say that's definitely more of like when I started to realize this can be something much more that I can do. And when I especially starting to travel internationally as well, like for World Cups. I remember I think the second World Cup and I got a bronze at a cadet one. And I started to realize wow, now I'm on the world team, or had a really good shot at it. And then was from there, really is when I started to definitely view this as something that's more serious and also just really cool to be a part of. And yeah, I'd say definitely when I won the Cadet Worlds in 2022, that was for sure a huge moment where it's just all in the game now.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, that's when we started to see it as well, right? I remember coming home, and you're going to experience this. You may have already experienced this. You come home to Alliance, and after being away in college, and there's a long line of people trying to take their shot at you.
Oh yeah.
You just gotta stay on strip until they're done.
There's a long line of people in New York trying to take their shot at you.
Yeah.
I'm in the line. Yeah. By the way.
Yeah. But the point being, you come home to Alliance and there's just a lot of people excited to see you because they trained with you until you left, and now it's oh yeah, let's fence. I want to show you what's up.
Oh yeah.
And you were never in that line when I was coming home. It looked like you didn't care at all. And then one day. I want to say in 2021 or so, before you had this pop-off moment, we finally got a fence, and he got one touch of me. It was a 5-touch battle.
I remember that.
Sam got one touch, and it was a lightning fast flush. I just got skewered. I was oh, whoa. I didn't realize that this kid that I've known his whole life, it just has that in him. Okay, we got to not let him do that. And then I won 5-1. And I was I remember I unhooked from the strip, and I went to Anton, who shout out Anton for the nth time on this show. We'll have you on eventually. And I said, Sam Imrek got really fast since the last time I fenced him. He hit me on one touch that I got shish kebabbed on. and it just skewered. And he's like, yeah, he's been doing that lately. And I remember Anton the next season telling me Sam Imrek is getting really good. He keeps beating me at Saturday practices and he's getting really hard. And I said, yeah, that makes sense. There's that. I saw like a little bit of that. And then I started preaching the good word to all the FA guys. Like, yeah, watch out, Sam Imrek's coming. And then the ball got rolling, dude. You've done a lot since then. So going off Steven's question, what, you had your all-in moment, and since then, there's been a lot that's happened. Like, think about it. It's only been a couple of years. You've been on a lot of podiums. You've been all over the world. You fence all types of people. You met all types of people. You had crashes. You had surges of victory. You had all this stuff. What keeps you going? What's the spark? Why fencing? And you and I have had this discussion, so it's funny to be talking about it now on camera and stuff. But like, today, if you had to think about it, what's the spark? Like, what makes it stick?
Yeah, I think definitely just having the awareness and just the awareness really that this is something that I've been doing my whole life, and it's something that I'm really talented in. It's something that I'm really skilled in, and I'm not this talented or skilled at anything else, so it's something that I should definitely be aware of and be grateful for, and just be able to appreciate that there's many others in the same place as me, and I'm able to compete against them. And I think that's really cool. So that's really what's just driving me to just continue, because as you're saying, like, it's a lot, like so many things happen, but it's definitely a huge part of what gets me up and going in the morning.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of looking at the sport. I think I understand that. I share that, admiration and respect for the sport, because like it's the thing we do, and it's a cool thing. Like, luckily it's just a really fun, unique thing that we happen to have done and got pretty good at, and keep it going, that's great.
Yeah. Solid answer so far, Sam. You're doing great.
Let's go. So I think, we'd be remiss if we didn't give some context for the viewers who may not be familiar with Sam's fencing.
I'm going to try and edit a clip of Sam fencing right here.
Nice.
Wherever. Okay, cool.
So for those who don't know,
and for those who do,
just a reminder, Sam's fencing is unique. The way it looks is unique. The things he does are very unique and different from anyone else. And so a couple questions on that. Where does that come from? How did you, develop this style, this Sam technique, this thing that you do? And I guess we can start with that, and then we can get into the next questions. But just where does your fencing style come from?
Sure. Yeah, that's a very commonly asked question, and I'd say that it's a combination of several factors. A lot of it, of course, being definitely lessons and just fencing and everything. A lot of it with coaches, but also just with myself, especially during open fencing, when I would have a lot of time to like fence, think about my fencing, like try out new things. Also a combination of just watching fencing as well, especially the high level, like when in the earlier days, like when I was watching the top level fencing, that also had a huge impact. So I'd say, a lot of those various factors combined. And just a lot of that stuff, a lot of me thinking about it, just amongst coaches, other fencers, etc. And it just kind of all came together essentially.
So you got Andre's sign off on all this? He wasn't trying to correct you. He wasn't trying to straighten you out or anything. He signed off, was supportive of this the whole way.
I'd say I can't really think of him like trying to correct me a bunch, especially during the lesson. He wouldn't really do it. He wouldn't really wouldn't really say too much. I think he was just, sitting by to see how it went.
Yeah, Andre, in my experience, and you've seen other fencers like this, like he really let people like Anna Van Brooming come into her own as well, Darius, stuff like that. Like I think Andre is an abstract artist. I think he's more concerned with how you're hitting at the end. So he's like, okay, if you're hitting at the right angle, the right timing, and you're setting it up the way where you're getting the reaction from your opponent and you're doing this, like, frankly, I don't care what it looks like, and it's way cooler when you're a troll. And that's like Andre's mentality, I think.
Yeah, that's a very good way of putting it.
He's like, okay, if you want to try and have perfect on guard, great. Like, I'll work with it. And if you want to just like tiptoe around and then, do whatever, like if you're hitting, I'm not going to argue with you. And I think he definitely got Andre's sign up. It's just like, oh yeah, now we have a secret weapon. Let's go. I choose you.
That's awesome. So the second part of the question to that is, how did it feel to have haters and the doubters basically from the start of when you got good? And how does it feel to have proved them all wrong?
And continue to. You still have haters and doubters right now tuning into this podcast just because they want to hear, they want to just see the hatred.
No, I hope not.
No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, for a fact, like the Europeans, the people from other countries, they laugh, they're confused, they don't give it respect, and then they lose, and then they're forced to respect it. So like, what's that like?
Yeah, no, it's also a very good question. Like, I would say that it's kind of interesting to think about, I guess. It's not something like that would be on my mind all too much, but yeah, I mean, definitely like with a style like definitely more unorthodox, and you can see this with many other fencers as well over the years who are unorthodox. You're always going to have like people who are just not going to really understand, or just have a mentality of like it should be this certain way, and if something is outside of that box, then they just really don't get it. So I feel like that is where it stems from mostly. It's just like people not really understanding. But yeah, I mean, it definitely feels good to just be able to break through with my own style, and I mean, that's really it.
I will say, and I've admitted this to many people, but I'll go out and publicly say it now. I was one of the haters. When Sam won Cadet Worlds, I was in college hating.
I think you argued with me.
I definitely argued. I'd argue with anybody who was willing to hear it. I was one of your early haters when you won Cadet Worlds, and I was in a weird sort of technique bubble at the time where I idolized technique over anything else, like very pretty technique. And what really changed me is, I don't know if you remember, me, you, and Justin did a video with Andrew Fischel, Cyrus of Chaos, talking about that semifinal bout, or was that the final?
It was semifinal.
Semifinal bout, yeah. And just the stuff you were doing in that bout. And, me and Justin thought it was going to be this funny thing. How did this kid come up with the triple duck foot touch? And like, we thought you were going to just not have an answer to that. But the way you responded to, how you were seeing these sort of like opportunities and how you were setting these touches up, I went, it doesn't look the same, but the way he's seeing the sport is like really intelligent and like really, really, like spot on. I think it's really good. And so that was the moment where I stopped hating. And then from there, very shortly thereafter, you won me over like almost immediately, because I was just like, it looks different, but the fundamentals are there. The skill is just beyond anything that any of us have ever encountered. So I am in the Sam fan club now.
Let's go.
But to any Sam haters out there, like, just take the pill, guys. Like, you'll see the truth. It'll be okay. And he's a great guy.
Yeah. Not only that, I think you touched on one thing that's really important. So not only are the fundamentals there, like, yeah, the setup looks different from what you do. Yeah, he hunches over and looks you in the face. But like, at the end of the day, if you take a snapshot of any of the final actions, the only one that's like super quote unquote unorthodox is this like shoot to the under the hand. That's not something that anyone else does. But if you clip the flesh as it's happening, it's beautiful flesh. If you clip the counterattack over the top, the blade's bending perfectly, high hand, everything's there. You get parried, 4 is in the perfect line. It's real soft or post is fast. Same thing with everything else. Like fundamentals are all there, and they're actually in the top nth percentile as far as skill goes. So I think people just get so put off by things they don't understand. And, that's really it. Sam's just the epitome of a misunderstood guy. And I think that this podcast is a great place to shed light on just the fact that you're one of the boys. and we love, I say take the pill. I'm on Team Steven there. I took the pill real early and was trying to force feed it to Steven. And it turns out that sometimes
anytime Ari tries to force feed me anything,
he spits it right out and then punches me in the face. It turns out that you just have to let people figure stuff out on their own. And that's kind of what Andre did with Sam. And he's like, listen, this kid, he's like, that's not how I would fence, but like he's beating everyone else and he's scoring touches. So like, who cares? And frankly, I think that in turn, the more that you start to respect it and not idolize it, it's not about idolization here, but the more you respect Sam's fencing, the more you can learn about yourself. And I think that fencing Sam, inadvertently, as we've seen since Sam's come up, we've also seen a lot of other Americans start doing significantly better internationally, which we had a big lull. And there is no question in my mind that this correlation is very significant. I think that fencing Sam and having Sam compete at a high level and having the experience of fencing you, I think that has led to a lot higher confidence and skill on the U.S. fencing side. So like, I think that it was the impetus for our improvement as an org. And just keep being yourself, bro. Like there's nothing else I could say other than just keeping yourself. And I think that you answered that super well with saying that you don't really think about the haters, all that stuff. You shouldn't. You should just keep doing what you're doing because it's good. And as you self-actualize and grow and become a better version of yourself as a person and just own it more and more, everything's just going to keep spiraling into itself. Like just do you, man. It's awesome. And it's great to be a part of your journey. We started talking more seriously right around the time you won Cadet Worlds. And since then, I'd say I built a pretty close relationship with you. And like Steven said, watching you grow has been awesome because at this point, you're a young man. You're not a little boy anymore. And to see you go through life and get challenged and whatnot has been painful at times and challenging for all of us, but you're coming out on the other end stronger and better each time, just like a fencing bout. And it's cool to watch and understand. So I think that goes into our next question.
Yeah. Thinking back to you, maybe we'll do 4 years ago, 2021. What were your dreams with fencing, with life? What was your vision sort of like then? And how has it evolved? What's it like now? What do you want in the next maybe 5 years?
Interesting. That's really something, to think about. What I was just kind of envisioning myself, around like 4 or so years ago. I would say definitely it was like sort of around the time like when I was starting to pick up the pace and fencing and like start to take it a lot more seriously and have that in my mindset a lot, and it'd be a bigger part of my life just in general. I don't know exactly where I would have envisioned myself in the long run, really. I do know that a few years down the road from now, definitely see myself continuing fencing. And then, like once I am out of college, just being able to be stable and, just able to continue fencing, able to continue traveling and doing what I love. And that's really what I just want to do, just keep doing the things I enjoy.
And for you, does that mean like any lofty goals or expectations, or is it just being able to do it? What sort of drives you there?
I'd say, I guess there are like maybe some specific goals really. Mm-hmm. I guess like in terms of fencing, like obviously like being able to like Olympics, like Olympic medal, Olympic gold medal would be like really cool, of course. Like other things like that. I would say, generally speaking, though, I just definitely want to, as I'm saying, like do the things I like doing best, like have good relationships, good everything else, just be satisfied with where I'm at, wherever that may be. And I think, things are going in a good way, and, we'll see many unexpected things or whatever can happen. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I guess for the most part, just kind of going with it and see how it is. Like, I have a pretty good idea.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think from the fencing side, just in general, because, you're talking about your life and all this stuff is good. And I think something that people were really curious to hear and see with you is more about your mindset, right? You've had some pretty epic comebacks in your career. And I think that, when things are going poorly, things go poorly. But when things are going well and you're down in a match and you're able to bring it back and you're able to just stay in the fight with the best fencers in the world, and you've come back and beat them, and it's been amazing to watch. If you could just shed a little light on your mentality, your mindset, when things are going well, what is going through your mind, even if you're down on those days where, let's say, you end up medaling, but you were down 10-5 or something like that. On the only bout that came to my mind right now is Lopez Portier, but you were down against Koch as well, and stuff like that. Or you lost to Koki Kano and then came back and beat him the next time you fenced him. Those types of matches. What's going through your head in those moments? Even Bardenay, both times you beat him, you were down the whole bout until the very end. And it's like, clearly you would describe those days as good fencing days. Mm-hmm. What's going through your mind as you're getting in many people give up at 10-5. They're like, yeah, I'm getting my ass beat. This is over.
Yeah, I'd say it's very it's a very interesting combination, I guess, of having my mind think like more, but also think less, and just kind of a sense where like I just feel much more like I'm always like obviously directed on the bout in the tournament, but I just feel like so much more like I'm just going through a huge amount of passion, just really trying to bring it back. Like that's just how I'm feeling more than anything. Yes, of course, like everyone else, I'm thinking about the bout and everything, but also, yeah, I mean, it's just really just a strong like drive to win in these certain scenarios. I feel like that's just what really propels me forward. And obviously, like, the bout's not over until it's over. And of course, when the pace starts picking up, if I'm like getting if I'm down like 5 or whatever, like get 1 or 2 more touches here, like that's just more. There's just more proof that I can bring this back, and there's no reason to like try and get discouraged for any reason, because yeah, as I said, like it's not over until it's done, and that's what really keeps it forward. And just that having that ability to know that I can bring it back and win anytime during the bout, like that's what's really driving me.
Yeah, and you mentioned the word passion. You're going through a moment of passion, and I think that's really visible when you're doing well and things are going well. Once it starts to pick up and then you finally get that win, you're a very mellow guy, but you're quite a showman. You love the crowds. You do a great job. You celebrate. You bring the energy, and crowds love watching you. I think 14 all. What's going through your head? Is it the same thing? Is it how do you prepare for those matches? How do you process them afterwards, or is it just a sense of self? What's going on?
I'd say, yeah. I mean, it's also pretty similar in like a 14-14 scenario. It's just me going there and being able to know that I am able to trust my skill. I'm able to trust myself again, especially if it's like far along in the tournament or whatever, against someone else who's really good. It's just I've already like gotten so far there. It's just a matter of me really trusting my skill, in kind of a way like it's definitely in my hands, like in some ways out of my hands, but it's just me like really knowing, having that feeling like down inside that I have the capacity to take this bout, and I'm just going to make sure to not go down without me putting in my 110%. And yeah, I'd say I definitely after the bout, it really depends. Some bouts, like I don't remember them nearly as much, like other bouts I will. I feel it kind of just depends. But yeah, I mean, I've gotten very used to that since I've been in that situation many times, like very close wins, very close losses. It's just, it's just I think it's just a really cool experience to be in that situation in the first place. And it really tests a lot of things about you.
Yeah. Lastly, we totally forgot. So by the time you guys are listening to this, it's November. It's almost the November knack. But by the time when we're recording this, very recently, a week ago today, you won the October knack. We forgot to congratulate you. That was one of the knacks on the resume that we listed. You won. It was the first national tournament of the season, and there was a lot of really exciting fencing. That being said, for you, you weren't fully tested. In top 8, you were down 10 or 7-2 against a teammate, but then at the end of the match, it wasn't very close. But in the finals, you fenced our other Team USA teammate, Henry Lawson, who you and him have a long history on the strip. He's another great fencer. I felt that he really brought the best out of you on that day. And that must have been like exactly one of those moments, right? Where at 14-14, you're giving it 110%. How did it feel to win that?
Well, I mean, it felt really great, of course, because, it felt really great because that bout was very specifically, it was the closest bout the whole day. And it was just, I was being completely pushed to my limits, was pushing him to his limits. Me and Henry, as you said, we fenced each other many times before. Lately, our bouts have been very close or very neck and neck. It's just, as I was saying, since we know each other very well, it's just a matter of, just being able to really know my skill is there. And just, when I won, it was, of course, very, very great feeling, very rewarding, amazing way to start the season. And
it's awesome. It was really fun. It was good to see you back on top. You hadn't been on a national final strip in a little while. Like the national circuit had been evading you a little bit as you were going through your college transition, which leads us to the next question. But it was really awesome to see you in your element again. It was cool. I wish one of us got a chance to fence you. We both messed that up, but you avenged both of our deaths.
That's right.
We were owned that day by Leon Chow, but he was owned by Sam Imrek. So it was great. Steven, you mind going to the next question?
Well, I think now would be a great time to do an experiment.
We love science.
This
is a science show.
This is a science show. So we don't have anything to eat with us today. However, we do have these Edge.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
We can put
wipes.
them right here. We got Edge Sneakers Sole Grip Wipes by.
Description. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. Steven's getting some important stuff for this science experiment. Sam has been gracious enough to volunteer some of his equipment to test something out, and this will inadvertently lead to an advertisement if it works. But what is Edge? Edge is a product that enhances grip and cleans soles, and it comes in 2 different forms. You have a spray, and you also have these sole grip wipes. And as of very recently, they also have the advanced grip system, which is a combination of the spray and a pad that we can bring out right here as well. So this pad, it combines with the spray to help your shoes gain more traction. But these wipes in particular, we're not here to do a shoe ad right now. We're actually doing a science experiment.
We're doing a science experiment because this product works on rubber and other polymers. I am not a science bitch.
I think that's the word that was used.
I
polymer.
think so too.
Sam, put on your glove for this. This
So
is important.
what we're gonna do? We're gonna do an experiment.
Prieur gloves, actually.
Prieur gloves.
Wait. We're missing so much stuff here.
Oh my gosh,
We missed the fact that Sam
This is our third. This is our third Triple P episode.
Prieur.
Oh, yeah.
And you're our first Prieur Epee teammate on the podcast. We had Maya and we had Grant, so we had the Sabre representatives in New York. But now we have one of our Epee teammates. We all got these nice Prieur gloves on.
Look at these gloves.
And
look at how fresh, how clean.
The reason we don't have pistol grips right now is because
We need something with the polymer.
yeah, we need something with a polymer. And the French grips, many people use golf grips and stuff like that. So we are testing today whether or not
All right,
this
trade.
sneaker spray, this sole grip wipes, whether or not they are able to help the French grip get grippier when we apply it to the product. So when we apply it to the grip. So this is already fairly grippy.
Control group.
We're trying to understand. It's pretty grippy. It's not bad. But now Sam and Steven for those of you listening, I'm just going to walk you through it verbally. They are going to apply these wipes. Each one will wipe the grip to get the entire, they're going to try to get the surface area of the grip covered with
Don't unfold the wipe.
Solution. It says don't unfold the wipe?
Yeah.
Okay, so do not unfold the wipe. They are currently opening up and now wiping.
Unfold it.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
All right. I'm gonna take the glove off.
Yeah, don't do it with your glove. It's supposedly going to make your leather a little bit not as grippy. It might make it slippery.
So, like, how hard should we go on this?
Just
try to cover a paywall.
Yeah, try to. Yeah, try to cover the whole grip, and then from there you're good. And then let's put it to the side, and then Sam, I think you're solid. Yeah, then just blow on it, let it dry. I guess. Just like add some air or something.
Oh wait,
and just put it on the table, I guess. So they're now we're letting it dry a little, and then put the gloves back on, and let's test this out. Let it dry? I think no, because I think it should like kind of rub in there. Maybe. Is it grippier?
Wait, I mean,
is it?
Well, we gotta rub it in.
Is it more oily?
We gotta rub.
I'm gonna rub it in more.
Okay.
Putting it behind the guard.
Yeah,
so
this is.
You gotta pay if you want to see the other side.
Some pretty precarious video footage.
Yeah.
Making eye contact with the cameras and everything too. I love it. Well, Sam, your camera's here.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So, how does it feel? Is it grippy?
Or is it slippy?
Is it slippy?
It's pretty grippy.
Really? Do you think that this would help you in competition, genuinely? Or is it weird?
Oh, wait a
I
second.
don't know.
Too grippy? Steven,
I think there's a difference.
No, there's definitely a difference.
Yeah. No, that is it was
all right.
Pretty okay. It was
they're testing out the grips.
Before.
We're seeing
Here, try
this
that.
is for the listeners, not the viewers. I didn't feel yours before.
Oh.
But it is definitely grippy.
Can I see yours?
I felt Sam's. I don't know.
So it's interesting because I think
talk us through it.
The glove is sticking better, but my finger is now sliding around in the glove because of that, or as a result of that.
Yeah, because I guess they're not as tight as football gloves. So the reason we wanted to try this out is because people have been using this product on golf grips and on football gloves and other things like that, rowing gloves as well. For fencing, I don't know, Sam. What do you think? It feels a little weird.
I mean, yeah, it is different.
It is different.
For sure. I don't know exactly what to think of it yet.
Maybe worth a little more science.
Definitely.
More experiments, but so we're not going to advertise that this is going to make you grip your French grip better. What we will say though is
give it a shot.
Give it a shot, sure. But what you should be getting this product for is for your shoes. Fencing clubs and fencing strips all over are incredibly slippery just due to the amount of dust and dirt from other people's shoes and the building and a lot of use that builds up. And you're most likely a fencer if you've experienced going into a fencing club or competition and slipping all over a strip, even though your shoes might seem clean. You've wiped your shoes on your socks, on a carpet and whatnot. Edge gets rid of all of that, and it genuinely decreases the barrier to cleaning your shoes and getting that edge over your opponents in the fact that you have confidence that you're not going to be slipping around. Steven and I have been using it, and it's a great product. Give it a check it out. Look at it.
There's something there.
Steven believes there's something there. Sam, not fully convinced on the grip. Again, on the shoes, it works great. I think this was fun. We'll do more science experiments in the future.
Thanks for bearing with us.
Yeah,
guys.
thanks for bearing with us. That was a really fun
Sam, thank you for
little bit
being a sacrifice to science.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Sam has sacrificed his grip to science. Hopefully it survives. You have any takeaways, Sam?
I honestly don't know yet because it definitely did feel more grippy. I just don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Are you willing to test it out at a practice?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so Sam's going to be testing it out. We'll be getting back to you guys in future episodes.
I think I'm going to fence French grip tomorrow.
Okay. Well, that's November 14th for our fans. All right. So want to get into a little bit more. So Steven, I think you should go to the next question because I have a follow-up that I would really like to ask, and it's not planned. And I think that it comes as a good follow-up from the current question that's going to be asked.
So just kind of speaking about your journey and the most recent sort of milestone, maybe not the most recent milestone, but a recent milestone in your overall life and fencing journey. What was your transition becoming a D1 college athlete like? And what being on, your sophomore year, sort of it's a less fresh transition now. Obviously, each year brings its own unique challenges and you're learning along the way. But what advice would you give to student athletes entering college as, and not just student athletes, but anyone entering college, and ultimately, people with a similar experience to yourself, where you're not only making this transition into college and college athletics, but you have a very demanding travel schedule for the international circuit as well. You were doing not just the junior, but also the senior circuit, NCAA circuit, national circuit. Can you sort of A, illuminate that experience, and B, what advice would you give to someone going through that transition as well?
Okay, yeah, I would say definitely it is a lot, of course, translating to an athlete in college and also doing everything in the nationally and internationally as well. I don't believe that's the case for most sports. I don't know for sure, but I feel like fencing is pretty unique in that regard. And yeah, it definitely is a lot, no doubt, especially during my freshman year when I was also in juniors. But it's pretty manageable, I would say. You definitely have more events that you have, like more traveling as well, because if you're doing the national circuit, international circuit, it's already a lot because there's 8 World Cups plus the Worlds and the zonals, and then NAC's around 4 times a year. So then you're also going to college meets, however many times it is, 4 or 5, something like that, and then the NCAAs and everything. So it definitely can be a lot of tournaments, especially in a couple months, like March, for example. It can be very heavy. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely a bit of an adjustment I had to make for sure. Wasn't too much more than having to just adjust things on my schedule, being able to decide what things I should put aside, what things I should focus on more. And yeah, it's definitely different for sure. It's definitely very interesting for student athletes. I would say that, yeah, if anyone who is going to be a student athlete very soon, also trying to balance these things, just know that I would say really to try and not to get too stressed out about it at the beginning, even if it seems stressful, because it very well can be, for sure. And it can be overwhelming too, but it's really just something to where you're getting into it because you like the sport, and it's something to where you should just try and keep your love for the sport alive, really. And that's really all that matters. And yeah, I mean, just being able to plan ahead really and see how things go, to think about where you're going to be at, and just be able to be okay, am I going to have to do less of this? Am I, going to be able to have to move what I usually do, cut it back for a certain amount of time? A lot of it is just time management.
So, okay, good answer. And so what I'm taking away from that is not, time management and just prioritization of what's important in that week or that day or that moment, to fill your schedule with the priorities and not get caught up in all the extracurriculars.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, because we've been kind of at the ground level of all of this, I wanted to have you talk about that first, and then kind of dive into the next question, which just is watching you grow has been such an intense and long process, because we've been at the ground level. We were there with you week by week, as you have ups, as you have downs. And I think that what would be really interesting for people to hear about, and just for maybe you to articulate, is, what has been the biggest challenge or setback that you have faced mentally, emotionally, whatever, throughout this journey, physically, up until this point, and how did you overcome that? How, if you've overcome it? I'm assuming you've been overcoming these setbacks and challenges, but what got you through?
Okay, yeah, I would say definitely that there can be a lot of challenges and setbacks that occur like multiple times, or yeah, just a lot of variety of things can occur. It can be like directly caused by like fencing, like what's happening in fencing, or it could be externally other problems. Yeah, there's a lot of things that can definitely like set you back. I'd say like, yeah, one thing is especially times like more specifically like when I've been on the senior circuit the past couple of years, a lot of it is just, definitely a lot of tough losses where I feel like I could have won the bout for sure, or I could have just fenced it better. It's a lot of times where I just know like if I was fencing my true best that I was fencing just a few weeks earlier, I probably would have won the bout, or maybe the score would have been closer. I'd say that's definitely something that's hard to manage the past, that was hard to manage like when I was on the senior circuit and stuff. And then, because you can play a lot of mind games with yourself about these kinds of things when you just like know like you can be doing better then, and then to not let it get you down and just be able to go to the next tournament. That's really a huge thing, is just being able to bounce back from these issues. And yeah, for me, like again, just knowing that I have gotten like on the senior travel team, you have to be top 12 in the country to get there. And I know I was just like, if I'm good enough to be like this high here, I'm good enough to be, in this scenario where I have been at. I've worked hard for that, and I've accomplished that like through my talent, skills, etc. And there can definitely be like times when I'm not where I get an undesired result, like or when I'm not fencing my best. The good thing is to just keep that in mind, and keep that in mind that once again, like I also really want to continue this sport. It's such a huge part of who I am. And just also knowing that I was able to get this far, and that these setbacks, I'm not going to let them like bring me down too much, because there's always going to be another tournament. There's always going to be another season where you can improve upon these things.
I think it's really important. I think it's awesome to hear you say, right? We've been again at the ground level of this when stuff is going bad or stuff is going well. It's hard to really zoom out, right? You get so engulfed in whatever's happening because it's so visceral and real in that moment. And I think it's really awesome to hear just you say those things. And, because even this last season, people will look at it and say, you finished 7th in the world. You finished, you got these medals, everything's going well. But, we know you had a lot of ups and downs this year, right? And it seems that has been one of the compelling things that kept pulling you out of those downs, right? And I think that's really important. I think that's important for people to hear, because even your favorite fencers, for example, Sam Imrek, have ups and downs, and it's important to just remember that why are you doing this? Do you love this? Keep it going. And I think that you've been managing it super well. There's a lot of ups and downs in a season, but I think you've been doing a great job of staying consistent over time.
Absolutely. No, it's good to hear you take the what's it called, like the 1,000-yard view, or the zoomed out view of this, and it's not as bad as it may seem in the moment, and it's important to look more broadly at the opportunities that are still available for you, and that it's just as you described coming back and about, like nothing's over till it's over, right? Career's not over till it's over. Season's not over till it's over. And it's important to remember that in tough moments, and just go for the next one. So happy to hear that you're taking that viewpoint, and hope it serves you well moving forward.
Yeah. Going off of that as well, I know that with a lot of your accolades and just a lot of the hype around you and the expectations you place on yourself, there comes an immense amount of pressure. If you had to give yourself advice a year ago on how to deal with all of that, coming into, really being a full senior and coming off your number one in the world junior year and all that stuff. What advice would you give Sam a year ago?
I would say, I guess, to not get too really just caught up in the moment for whether it's like, no matter what it is, really, if it's like, that doesn't always have to be like bad. But it's just, not getting like too caught up and focused like on the present, especially with like whatever struggle it may be, like whatever thing, or like fencing bout or like tournament result, or if it's anything else, just to not let, I would say, to tell myself to not let it get me down too much, to not be so down over something that in retrospect is really small. And just being able to have that awareness that, there's definitely much more to come, even throughout when I am trying my best and am just like working so hard to do well, but always kind of having that in the back of my mind and just being aware of that. I'd say like that is definitely one thing that I would tell myself.
It's good advice.
Yeah,
I hope
really good advice.
I hope younger Sam would listen.
I hope older Sam listens too.
I think older Sam's listening pretty well, man. Younger Sam, maybe not. I think I gave younger Sam that advice. He said, yeah, thanks.
So we got one more question before we get into our final segment. And just wanted to ask you, you're still one of the, you won't be for long, but for some time, you're still one of the younger guys on Team USA senior team. So what was that like to emerge as like this young up and coming guy, and then all of a sudden, be that guy, be our America's guy, right? And become essentially, for lack of a better term, a leader of Team USA. How did that materialize for you? Was that maybe you don't view yourself as a leader, or maybe you do, or maybe it materialized itself as pressure, or maybe you took it in stride? But what was that experience like to just come onto the scene and be him?
Well, I would say it's definitely really cool, especially like the past couple years, being able to go and travel with you guys and all the rest of the senior travel team that's a bit older than me. I'd have sometimes some guys my age, but most of the time, like when I was just getting on the senior circuit, a lot of the guys were older and I was younger, just coming on. I'd say like it was definitely very cool. Was able to just talk and get to know you guys. That was such a cool part, and also just being able to fence, being able to hang out have like the dinners and everything. And even when we were doing like the Airbnbs and that the last season, I feel like definitely really pulled us closer together. And now it's definitely something that's really cool to know. It's really cool that I'm like, of course, like still with you guys, like being able to know you guys travel and everything. It's just something where it's really glad to see. I'm really glad to see, because I think the team has grown a lot, and I just really want that to continue. Like the bond that we have with each other, I feel like it's getting stronger, and new people are being inspired. A lot of new upcoming men's epeists that want to get successful on the men's epee circuit from the U.S. I feel like we're definitely inspiring them. As we're getting better and better, we're just really making people more motivated to come.
It's true. Our national competition scene it was really cool to see this October tournament where, I didn't get to fence everyone. Obviously, you didn't get to fence everyone. You didn't get, but it looked like so many people were firing on all cylinders, and a lot of people really prepared for this tournament. Not everyone got the result they wanted, but there were a lot of people who were super prepared. And, obviously Steven and I didn't win, but I felt like we were both really prepared.
We were both very prepared.
And the guy who we fenced was really prepared. And Sam was really prepared. And Henry was really prepared. And James Senwald was really prepared. And, Nick Candela was really prepared. Dylan French came really prepared. And, you just keep going down this list. And, even some of the people who lost to us in earlier rounds, like, were also really prepared. Simon Lesnaski was really prepared. He got second out of pools in both tournaments and got second in juniors. He lost to Skylar, who was also really prepared, who lost to Sam, who was also really prepared. And there were all these like matchups. And it was really cool to see how intense everyone was hitting it. And it was the same thing last October, but it felt like everyone was more dialed in. Nathaniel Wimmer was really prepared. He lost to Henry, but right, like all these people are really bringing in, and it's cool to see. And I totally agree. You know, you guys are really inspiring right now. Sam, you're at the top of the list, but, you know, Tristan, Justin, Oleg, and you know, anyone, seeing you guys do it reminds us that we're, you know, no matter how many tough moments we had in the last couple of years, which eventually on the show we'll talk about, but like U.S. men's FA's not got the hottest streak, especially within the last, you know, 4 years. But this last year was a huge step in the right direction. And seeing that happen, seeing all the individual results that have come out of that, and seeing the momentum has been awesome. And, you know, the more you take today's advice that you gave yourself, the more momentum will pick up. And it's really awesome, dude. It's been really cool for us to see you emerge as that guy, right? Like at first it was like, oh yeah, it's a little kid on a hot streak and he's really good, but what is this going to be, right? But to see you actually buy into that culture and immerse yourself in the team and the team at large, and wanting, like, and Sam doesn't just care about the team. Like Sam, I know that you go and you check the results and you check in on your teammates and friends who are both high and lower level fencers, excuse me. Like I know you go and you check the results and you congratulate them or tell them to keep their head up and stuff. And that means a lot. And I think that's an important piece of paying it forward that I don't think everyone does at a high level. And I just want to highlight, we don't have to name any names or do anything like that, but it's something that we know you're doing. And I think it's really important because it's good karma. It makes you a better person. And you never know, you know, someone like you going and giving someone feedback or encouraging them could be the thing that shifts their career, right? Mm-hmm. And then they could be the next Sam Imrek.
The coolest part about it, really, is just that, by keeping a good relationship with people and just really really congratulating them when they do well, giving them advice when they want. It's something that benefits both parties, and it's just so great. Like, obviously, like they can get good advice and learn to improve themselves and learn different ways, and also it just really feels great when you are contributing to someone's success.
It's true. Yeah, it's great answers, Sam. So the most fun part of this podcast, we haven't laughed as much as we probably wanted to.
Sam's a very serious man.
Sam's a serious man, giving us serious answers. And now you got to really, if you're serious, you got to be really serious about this piece. Because this is when you're going to be asked the hardest questions this entire podcast, but you're going to have the least amount of time to answer them.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, God.
So, Sam, this is a segment we like to call one light answers. So no doubles here, all right?
No doubles?
Only singles. You got to act quick.
Like
you got to act decisively.
Yeah,
all right?
This is a 14-all, dude.
This is a 14-all situation. So we're going to ask you a series of questions, rapid fire, and you got to give us the answer right off the top of your head. Think quick. Don't mull it over too much, and just give us what you got, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Take it away.
All right, Sam. Who are your two favorite fencers?
Two favorite fencers are going to be Park Sang-young and Romain Canon.
Oh,
nice.
2 Olympic champions.
Nice.
I like it.
Favorite city you've ever been to for fencing?
Dubai, easily.
Oh, that's cool. No, I haven't been. What's in your equipment bag that probably should not be?
Ooh, I would say a jump rope.
Why shouldn't it be in there?
I don't.
You ever
use
seen
it.
him jump rope?
Yeah, how many times have you seen me jump rope? Already?
You're just like carrying it around.
It's always there. I can't get rid of it.
Yeah, it just keeps reappearing.
Who's the most challenging bow you've ever fenced?
Just one answer?
Sure,
Yeah.
Gergely Siklosi.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw that one coming. You have to pierce a body part besides your ears. What are you picking?
Belly button.
Cute. What is the best food you've had in New York City, and why was it the Russian vodka room?
Well, the Russian vodka room is never forgettable.
Good answer.
Would you rather be the owner of Alliance Fencing Academy or the president of Haiti?
President of Haiti.
I'm so happy I get to ask this one. Okay, scenario is I give you $1 million for every city you can travel to with a full suitcase and a full fencing bag. The catch is, if you lose anything, you lose all the money. How many cities are you traveling to?
Wait, like the maximum amount of cities?
Yeah,
what is the maximum amount of cities you can go to? You get $1 million
every time you end up in a different city.
Oh, every time I end up in a
But
different
in
city.
order to end up in a different city, you can't leave anything behind or lose it.
You travel
Honestly,
full
man-
fencing bag, full suitcase.
Honestly, man, I think I would be chilling with 50 different cities.
You
think
would
you would
not
make it to
forget
50
anything for
cities
50
without losing
cities.
If I'm getting $1 million for each city, then I'm pretty sure I'm not going to forget anything.
Okay, what's the minimum amount that you need to get from each city in order to not forget anything?
I mean,
Like,
honestly,
$1 million is
as
a
lo-
lot, but what's the minimum?
like 5,000.
Okay, that's a lot. For your number. Okay. Last question. What's your favorite piece of pre-year equipment?
The whites.
Okay, that's
Nice,
good.
good
We usually
answer.
get the glove. So that's pretty much it, Sam. I guess who's your favorite host of Direct Elimination? Or who's your least? Okay, that's not bad. Oh, Tomas, come here. We have a special guest in the studio today. We have what is your official role? I don't know your LinkedIn title.
Let's do, I guess, brand coordinator.
He's the brand coordinator of Pre-Year USA. So he works with all the Pre-Year USA athletes, 3 of which you see right here, Steven, Ari, and Sam. And Tomas is part of the magic behind the brand on social media and, some of the stuff that we do that's Pre-Year branded, including this podcast and a lot of the ideas we have, we run by Tomas, and he's here today. So thanks for coming, Tomas.
Thanks for having me.
And I guess he's Sam's favorite host.
Yes.
No.
I'm grateful for it.
So, yeah, it's been great having you, man. And we're going to do more, Men's Epee collab / Pre-Year collab episodes. It's great to have you in the city. It's awesome to have you back. We missed you this summer when you were in Houston, and it's just good to see you back in your element, man. It's great. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. I mean, it's been so fun. This place is so sick. I want to come back.
We'll definitely have you back. And just to reiterate what Ari's saying, thank you so much for taking the time, coming and hang with us and have this conversation. And we know you're great. I hope the people listening get an even better idea of how great you are. And I'm excited to continue to grow alongside you and hopefully be a part of this journey for years to come.
Keep it rolling, Sam.
Thank you,
Keep up the
Steven
good
and
work.
Ari. I really appreciate it.
All right.
Nice.
I have never had a jacket this comfortable and this light. If you want to check it out, click the link in bio.
Here at Direct Elimination, we're very excited to bring you the mindsets and journeys of elite competitors in the sport of fencing. So any like, share, follow, subscription, any interaction that you have with this podcast means the world to us and allows us to reach more people and bring more content just like this to everyone out there.